Alright, so again, let me set up the fight before we get to anything here. Hope this game ever loads. Checking for fighter updates. Fighter updates? Really? Huh. I didn't know they updated this game. Oh wait, they don't. Alright. Fight modes. Alright, here we go. What division do I want to do Nate in? Do welterweight, I guess. Nate Diaz versus Georges St. Pierre? No, we won't do St. Pierre. It's a tough fight. Should do the rematch with Connor. Fuck, let's do the rematch with Connor. All right. So let me set that up. 3 rounds. That's fine. All right. All right. So while this game loads, let's talk about Nate Diaz's announcement on Twitter today. Let me pull up the exact quote. Hold on. I think I found it on. Yeah, here it is. Alright, so Nate Diaz on Twitter today said, "Fuck a rematch. This shit was over before it started. I'm going out on tour. I'm going out on tour." Nice English there, Nate. You never were very smart though. Peace out, fight game. And then he put a peace emoji. Alright, so Nate Diaz is retired from MMA. I'm sorry. That's just too funny. You know how many guys have announced their retirement only to come back? I mean, look at Connor, for example. Connor's announced his retirement 3 times. And look what's happened. I mean, Nate Diaz. Retirement. Oh my god. I don't know who you're trying to fool, Nate, but you're not fooling the actual fans who know anything about the sport. You have a potential rematch for the BMF title, which you created, basically, which you wanted created. You were 50% of the creation. You were a part of the reason why the fight was made. You just main evented Madison Square Garden, and you lost the fight due to a doctor stoppage, and now you're retired. You're done. Oh well. You know what? I main evented Madison Square Garden. That's it, guys. That's it for me. Nothing else for me. You know damn well Dana White's going to make the rematch because Dana White said he was going to make the rematch. So you have a rematch for a UFC championship. As much as I don't want to admit it, it is a championship in the UFC. So you have a rematch for a championship. You also have this fight. You have a trilogy with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, the biggest draw in MMA history, the biggest draw in potentially sports history. But hey, you know what? I don't want it. I'm retired. I'm done. That's it. That's it for me, guys. Peace out. Stockton gangster. I'm out. Really? Really? What did he say? Kill or be killed. So you got killed by Jorge Masvidal. You got killed for 3 rounds. You lost the fight, and now you're just quitting. Kill or be killed. So you got killed, and then you're gonna stay dead. That's it. Just bury me 6 feet under, guys. My career's over. He's not retiring. He'll be back. As soon as his eye heals up, he'll make this huge announcement on Twitter. "I'm back, guys. I'm back. I was just joking around." And I'm going to be sitting here. Yeah, we knew this 5 months ago. You have 2 of the biggest rematches in the UFC at the moment. You have Jorge Masvidal, who is a potential quote unquote star, I guess, now because he's won 3 fights. And you have the trilogy with Conor, but you don't want either of those. So what fight are you looking for? If you're Nate Diaz, you don't want the rematch. You don't want Conor. What do you want? You want Colby and you want the winner of Colby and Marty? I mean, that's not gonna happen. You lost. You lost your last fight. And then you beat Anthony Pettis, and then before that, you lost to Conor. So you're 1-2. No, so actually, sorry, you're 1-3 in your last 4 fights. So I don't understand. What are you trying to accomplish? And I mean, even if you did retire, it's not a huge loss anyway. Conor doesn't get the trilogy, so what? He's got other biggers. He's got the rematch with Habib that he's looking forward to. It's going to be the biggest pay-per-view in MMA history. So Conor's going to be fine. Jorge Masvidal, I'm sure he's going to be fine. He'll just find another contender. He'll probably fight Marty or Colby. No one's going to miss Nate Diaz. The only person that's going to miss Nate Diaz is, one, Nate Diaz, and two, his fans. His fans that have his back every fight for some reason, even though he gets his ass whipped. So, I don't know. It's the announcement. It's pointless. There's no reason why you should just randomly, hey guys, I'm gonna announce my retirement just all of a sudden, out of the blue, no reason for it whatsoever. I mean, who believes this garbage? Let's be real. Who believes it? You know, Nate Diaz, he says he's in the fight game not for the money. Alright, he's not in it for the money. It's kind of just tries to clinch with me for some reason. He's not in it for the money, okay? So, alright, let's take a look. Nate Diaz, remember, he's not in it for the money, remember. So he calls out Conor McGregor, okay? He beats Conor. Then he gets a rematch with Conor. He loses, and then he takes 3 years off because he doesn't get the trilogy. So, I don't know, man. So you're telling me you're not in it for the money, but you'll only fight Conor McGregor. Gotcha. And then your return to the UFC is against Showtime Anthony Pettis, who, again, fan favorite, it's going to be a draw. Okay? But you're not in it for the money. He's not in it for the money. And then his next fight is for a fake UFC belt that is created just for him, and he goes on to lose the fight. In the main event of Madison Square Garden. So you main evented a fucking event in the biggest sports venue in history, but you're not in it for the money. Gotcha. And now that you don't have the rematch with Jorge Masvidal, you retire. What? Since when does Nate Diaz get to call the shots? Dana White is not your bitch. As much as I don't like Dana White, you think Dana White's just gonna roll over and say, "Oh yes, 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 Nate, we'll give you whatever you want." Nate, as much as you don't want to admit it, bud, you're not a star. You never were. You got Conor to the ground and you submitted him, so now all of a sudden you're a huge megastar. You're the best. I mean, what happened in the second fight? You got busted up. You got broken down. Conor adapted. And again, in the first fight you had with Conor had, I don't even remember. It wasn't even 2 weeks notice. It was like a week notice, maybe a week and a half. Or was it? I don't know. I can't even remember. It was so short of a notice. Conor had no time to train. And Conor was getting ready to fight Rafael dos Santos. That's a completely different fight. Rafael dos Santos is at lightweight. So Conor had to literally gain 15 pounds in a week. Do you know how bad that is? Do you know how much hurt you have to put in your body for that? Do you know how much effort and time that takes? I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. Conor was at a disadvantage the entire fight. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised Nate did finish him round 1. And again, in the first round, Conor dominated. Conor went into the fight and he dominated Nick Diaz. And then, when Conor actually had time to train, actually had time to prepare, what happened? He dominated Diaz for 5 rounds. While that was a split decision, was it split or majority? I can't remember. Whatever it was beyond me. If you looked at Diaz's face, he was unrecognizable. You couldn't even see his face. It was just all red. It was crimson like blood. So when he fights top contenders, he gets beat up. He gets broken down because, again, Nate's game plan in fights is to stand there like this. Hey, I'm the greatest, and no. Hey, I'm the greatest, and he gets punched in the face about 500 times, and then in round 3 or 4, he says, "All right, now I'm gonna go to work." Your longevity is gonna fucking suck if that's your game plan for your entire career, which it has been for Nate. You're gonna have brain damage once you retire. Once you actually retire, you're gonna have fucking brain damage because it's a terrible strategy. It's a terrible game plan right from the get go. I'm getting sidetracked, but Nate Diaz, is he retired? No. He'll come back. He's in it for the money. Whoops. He'll come back. He's in it for the money. Oh, I don't care what he says. He'll come back. Should he get the rematch with Conor? I think at some point, yes, he should. They gotta have the trilogy. I think he loses. I think Conor stops him. If Jorge Masvidal can do that much damage to Nate Diaz in 3 rounds, what do you think Conor McGregor's gonna do? Especially if the fight's at 155, right? Even if it's at 170. So, and then if Nate gets the rematch with Jorge Masvidal, it's not going to be any different, right? Like look at people who have had rematches. Let's use John Jones and Daniel Cormier for example, right? First fight, John wins unanimous decision. Okay. Second fight, what happens? DC comes in, oh, I'm gonna beat you. He gets knocked out. So when Nate gets absolutely dumb, like Nate, he didn't hit anything that was great in that fight with Jorge Masvidal. He didn't rock him, he didn't drop him, he didn't go for a takedown. Like Nate got nothing that was noteworthy in that fight. Jorge Masvidal was not gassing out. He was not getting tired. It was pretty clear that Jorge was still going to be ready to go for another 2 rounds. So if I'm being honest, you know why Nate's quote unquote retiring? Because he knows he loses both of these rematches, and then what's there for him, right? He loses the rematch to Conor. He loses the rematch to Masvidal. And where does Nate go from there? Well, I don't know. Because then his record goes to what? 20 and 13, 20 and 14. Well, then you're looking like an average UFC fighter. What happened to the big star? What happened to the mega star Nate Diaz that beat Conor McGregor in round 2? What happened to that guy? So, I don't know. I just think it's it's dumb. He's not retired. He'll be coming back. As soon as his eye's healed up, which I don't know how long it's going to be, because I don't know how bad the eye actually is. I know he got stitches in it. I don't know what else happened, but he's not retired, guys. Come on. Nate, stop with the bullshit. The fans can stop with the bullshit. He's fine. Oops. All right. So, ooh, nice takedown by Nate. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I have to say on the matter. So, we'll continue this fight here for the next 20 seconds. We might be able to tap out Connor. I could have tapped him out right there, but I wasn't going to. We'll just throw a few punches here. I think we won this fight, but you never know. You never know with UFC 3. So yeah, I don't think Nate's retired. I think he'll be coming back. As soon as his eyes heal up, he'll be back. But he's gotta adapt, man. He's gotta change. If he doesn't, he's gonna get hurt bad. He got hurt bad in the Masvidal fight. Like, I don't know. You want to see a live death in the octagon? Watch an Diaz fight. He gets hit in the head so many times. He gets hit in the face so many times. I mean, come on, guys. Does he defend himself well? Not really. He's got a chin, so he thinks he's invincible. Yeah, you know what? You know who else had a chin who was invincible? Chuck Liddell. What happened to him? Where's Chuck Liddell right now? How's his career going? Nate needs to take time off. He needs to heal up. He needs to come back. And he needs to fucking go for the kill. Kill or be killed. Then fucking go for it. Connor battered your face for 5 rounds. You didn't do anything. You stood there with one of the best strikers, if not the best striker in MMA history, and you let him batter your face. You let him bloody you like there's no tomorrow. You didn't try. You didn't do anything. So, he's got to change. Will he change? Probably not. Nate's going to come back. He's going to get a fight, and he's going to fucking bleed some more. He's going to bleed out of that eyebrow. He's going to bleed out of the eye. He's going to bleed all over. And the hardcore fans, MMA, the hardcore fans, they're like, oh my god, Nate Diaz is so tough. Wow, look at him. He's bloody, and he's still going. Getting blood pouring out of your face in a fight is not a good thing. When you get like with the Conor fight, when you get hit in the face by Conor, and like let's just say near the eye, okay? We'll say near Nate's eye, and Nate starts to bleed. The judges write that shit down. I don't think people understand that. People think, oh, Nate Diaz is just a warrior because he's got a cut on his eyebrow, he's got a cut in his lip, he's got a cut in his cheek, and he's still going. Wow, and oh my god, it's only another round until he's actually starting to, he's gonna try now, guys. He's gonna be ready to fight. Nate Diaz should have been ready to fight at the start of round 1. As soon as they said, hey, you ready to fight? And Nate nods his head. Ready to fight? No, you're not ready to fight. Because you stand there for 15 minutes and you don't do a shit. You don't do anything. So, look, I'm a supporter of Nate Diaz, but this shit's getting ridiculous, okay? He's got good cardio. He doesn't ever use it. He uses it when he's already losing the fight. If he would have used it with that Masvidal fight, it wouldn't have mattered. If he won rounds 4 and 5, great. But Masvidal dominated 1, 2, and 3, so you still lost anyway. So what's the point? Right? So he's gotta change up his strategy. I don't know what his coaches are. I don't know what he does for training camps. I don't know what his coaches are telling him. Like, do his coaches just say, "Hey Nate, Good job blocking, man. Good job. Good job defending yourself. Hey, don't do anything yet, though. That's not our game plan. Is to get pounded on for a couple minutes. Oh, and then you start trying. And what does Nate do for training camp? He had months to prepare for this Masvidal fight. He fought Pettis in what, September? Maybe August? I don't remember what it was. He had from that fight until last Saturday. Madison Square Garden. And you're going to go into Madison Square Garden. You're going to go into the greatest sports venue in history, and you're going to give that type of performance. You're lucky the doctor stopped that fight, because if they didn't, you would get knocked out. I don't care what type of chin you have. You got dropped like what, 3-4 times? You were getting stopped. You were getting knocked out. Jorge Masvidal was going to put you on your back, and he was just going to ground and pound for days. So, that's it. That's all I got. I sidetracked way too much. Is Nate Diaz retired? Absolutely not. He'll be back. And part of me would like to say better than ever, but he's going to be the same old Nate. Win one, lose one. That's how he is. He wins a fight by decision, and then he loses. So, let's face it, he's a mediocre MMA fighter. He's mediocre. He was never that good to begin with. So, anyway, that's it for me. I attempted 278 strikes in this fight. I just realized that. Whew. Anyway, that's it for me. I think we're gonna do maybe one more video tonight. I'm in the video making mood. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it though. I'm trying to think. Maybe a prediction video, or maybe we'll try and find another MMA topic. But Nate Diaz, dude, change your fucking game plan, please. From a Nate Diaz fan, from a man that wants to see you win. Fucking do something.